How then do you explain the findings of the international independent group Amnesty International, which documented cases of torture, disappearances, and illegal detention?
Well, I'll tell you that the Amnesty International has never come to the Philippines. That's why all they talk about is something that they obtained hearsay. Let's give one specific example. Father Abedicio, a famous case. Father Abedicio is supposed to have disappeared. He is a member of the clergy in the Philippines. He's a Filipino. He disappeared and we couldn't locate him. Not even my best intelligence officers could locate him. And what did we discover after 6 months? We discovered he had run away with somebody who claimed to be a nun. And he was in Germany.
Mga utol Ang galing no? Yung mga paratang, no?
Mga karunungan, kaalaman, teorya, kasaysayan, hiwaga at mga bagong tuklas. Alamin natin.
Itong susunod natin matutunghayan at mapapanood mga utol ay isang press conference na nangyari sa United States o National Press Club USA noong 1982. Dito ay nilinaw ni President Ferdinand Marcos yung mga paratang sa kanya at mga katanungan at mga issues na lumalabas sa kanyang pamumuno o administrasyon. Okay mga utol, sinagot niya dito lahat ng katanungang umiikot. Okay, panoorin na natin ang video. Ang video na ito ay mula sa Pinas Reality TV. Subscribe niyo mga utol, paki-like na rin yung video. Game na.
Now, I want to introduce to you another leader of the Free Farmers Federation, which is also composed of farmers who wanted reform, but who are fighting for reform, but who are now joining in the effort to establish political stability and economic prosperity throughout the country, and who was Dean of the College of Law of the University of Ateneo, but abandoned his deanship in order that he may join in the effort to attain the noble mission of this new society. I refer to National Assemblyman Jerry Montemayor, President of the Federation of Free Farmers of the Philippines. I would like to introduce also to you a young man who was very active against the government in 1972 and who paraded around the streets raising the flag of the Communist Party and organized the Kabataan Makabayan, which is the red organization of the youth. And this man is Nilo Tayag. Is he here? Anyway, he is somewhere around here. But they have all joined, all these activists, to prove to you that all these stories about our being oppressive against our enemies and our friends, they've all joined the government to help reform and drive out all the corrupt people in the government.
Yung sinasabi niya rito, no? Yung pinupunto niya na yung mga aktivistang lumalaban sa gobyerno ay kasama niya ngayon. Okay, ibig sabihin kumampi sa kanya dahil nakikita nito na maganda naman ang kanyang panunungkulan. Okay, yun ang pinupunto ni President Ferdinand Marcos sa mga sinasabi niya yun. Kaya kasama niya yung mga aktivista, yung mga leader na mga nag-aaklas sa gobyerno. Okay mga utol, tuloy na natin.
We have an ombudsman. We are the only country with an ombudsman. You know what an ombudsman is? He is the officer who watches over the corrupt officials of government. And this man has charged more than 1,000 officers and employees and sent most of them to jail.
Ang ombudsman, mga utol, ito yung opisyal na nag-iimbestiga sa mga korupsyon ng mga government official o yung mga authorities. O sila po, yun po yung trabaho ng ombudsman. So sinasabi ni President Ferdinand Marcos during ng administrasyon niya, napakarami nilang naipakulong ng mga corrupt officials. Okay? Yun ang sinasabi niya. At saka tayo lang pala o Pilipinas lang pala ang merong ombudsman. Tuloy na natin.
Is Justice Pamaran here? He must be somewhere around. Where's Justice Pamaran? There he is. There's the ombudsman. And we have not deprived anybody of private property. On the contrary, while we are a free enterprise society, we have an egalitarian base. We recognize private property, encourage private initiative. And our Constitution explicitly recognizes the importance of developing the national economy and protecting the patrimony of the nation. In line with this, a National Economic and Development Authority has been created for the purpose of planning and coordinating economic development plans. I chair that Economic Development Commission.
Ito yung sagot niya sa ano, no? Yung sa mga tugon sa kanya na parang may dinideprive sila o may ino-oppress silang mga tao. May mga pinipuwersa sila, may mga ninanakawan sila ng karapatan. Parang ganon, mga utol. So, ang daming mga paratang kay Ferdinand Marcos na ganon. No? Sinasabi niya, in fact, egalitarian kami. Yung egalitarian po ay yung principle na naniniwala sa equal rights ng tao. Yun po ang egalitarian. O yung all people are equal. Parang ganon. Okay mga utol, tuloy na natin.
Now, I did not come all the way here to recite these basic facts to you. But it is best that we wrote this at once they form an important background of understanding the developments in my country. Relations between the United States and the Philippines now span, I'd say 84 years if you mark the Battle of Manila Bay, 184 years perhaps, if you mark the brig Salem, from Salem, which when it returned to Salem brought back hides, indigo, lumber, pepper, and paid 24,000 in tariff duties. Many things don't change,
Yung
not even
relasyon
tariff duties.
ng US at Pilipinas.
The trade between our countries is covered by a trade agreement. The military and security matters are covered by 3 agreements. Those agreements are, and I will now ask our friends in my staff to distribute these agreements to you, or as many as can receive them. These agreements are the Mutual Defense Pact, the Military Assistance Agreement, and the Military Facilities Agreement, which is due for review this coming year. President Reagan and I have agreed with the members of our cabinet that the review will start in April, probably we'll finish it by August. Through it all, our relationships develop in a way unique to nations so disparate in size and circumstances and so distant from each other. The direction which American colonization took in the Philippines in the political, economic, and military cultural spheres were such that for us, relations with the United States would remain crucial for a while. It is said that language is the greatest conveyor of culture. If that be so, if that wise man who said that is right, then your language has certainly conveyed to my country your culture. And this is why the relationship between our countries is something undefined.
Grabe, galing, no? So, pinapaliwanag niya dito, mga utol, yung relasyon ng United States at Pilipinas na napakatibay daw. At maraming mga agreements, no? Inisa-isa niya kanina yung mga agreements na meron tayo. And re-repasuhin ulit nila ni President Ronald Reagan yung mga agreement na ito. O baka pwedeng pagtibayin pa o dagdagan, mga utol. At sa mga hindi nakakaalam, talagang personal na magkaibigan si Ronald Reagan at si President Ferdinand Marcos. Okay, tuloy na natin.
Our interests may have diverged in the period after our recovery of national independence in 1946. But this relationship has endured. And the question that is often asked is, does the Republic of the Philippines differ from the American Republic? Yes and no. It doesn't differ in the sense that it is democratic, but it differs in the sense that we have a prime minister. And in the sense that we try and make the legislature.
Sa pagkakaalam ko, ang prime minister yata natin nung panahon na yun, kung hindi ako nagkakamali, ay si Juan Ponce Enrile. So meron tayong Democrat tayo, Republic of the Philippines, pero meron tayong Prime Minister. Kasi walang Prime Minister ang United States of America. Okay? Tuloy na natin.
And the president or the executive work together. We cannot afford any stalemates. We cannot afford any delays.
Tama.
It is a modified presidential form of government, while yours is a complete and pure presidential form of government. Why did we change this? Because we cannot afford stalemates and deadlocks. Yours is a strong economy and a military power. Ours is a weak country. We cannot afford to delay and postpone decisions pending the debates between Congress and the President.
Tama, mga utol, no? Tayo mahinang, sinabi niya na malakas kasi kayo yung United States. Samantalang ang Pilipinas ay hindi naman ganun kalakas. So, in fact, mahinang country pa nga. Sinabi niya, we are a weak country. So, hindi namin afford yung mga delays na mga desisyon na dapat iimplementa ng ura-urada o mabilisan para sa pagpapalakas ng Pilipinas o pagbabago ng Pilipinas o reforma. Okay, tuloy na natin.
Or the Prime Minister. The poorer third world countries cannot. And so, my friends, that is the situation. I am now going to ask also that my staff distribute to you the social and economic indicators of my country in showing to you the dynamism and the vitality of our economy. We have changed our economy such that we hope to be able to be self-sufficient. We were importing rice before. The last time we imported rice was in 1976, 77. We paid $500 million for that price. Today, we are exporting rice to our neighboring countries.
Galing.
And
Isipin nyo, noong mga panahon ni Ferdinand Marcos, nag-i-import, nag-e-export tayo ng bigas. Okay? Ngayon ay nag-i-import na tayo.
the per capita income was about $200. Now, it is more than $800 per capita income. The gross national income has increased 5 times. I need not go any further. I'll wait for the questions, and now I am ready for interrogation.
Eto na, yung tanungan na mga utol
Thank you, Mr. President.
Okay, yan na, dadako na sa interrogation daw, no? Yung mga sasagutin niya ng direkta, yung mga itatanong sa kanya, yung mga issues tungkol sa kanya. Okay?
You have indicated that the allegations about political repression and human rights are overblown. How then do you explain the findings of the international independent group Amnesty International, which documented cases of torture, disappearances, and illegal detention?
Well, I'll tell you that the Amnesty International has never come to the Philippines. That's why all they talk about is something that they obtained hearsay. Let's give one specific example. Father Abedisio, a famous case. Father Abedisio is supposed to have disappeared. He is a member of the clergy in the Philippines. He's a Filipino. He disappeared and we couldn't locate him. Not even my best intelligence officers could locate him. And what did we discover after 6 months? We discovered he had run away with somebody who claimed to be a nun. And he was in Germany.
Ayan mga utol Ang galing no? Yung mga paratang no, na international na ang tawag doon, nag-iimbestiga ng mga pagkawala at mga illegal na pagkukulong niya sa mga kalaban niya sa politika o di ba? Dahil nagkaroon ng maraming issue nung panahon ng martial law. Yung mga torture daw na ipinaparatang sa kanya at yung mga illegal detentions, yung marami pinakulong yung panahon ng martial law. Si Ferdinand Marcos, ang sabi niya, hindi naman napunta yung mga yan. Wala naman sila dito. Ang pinaparatang nila sa akin ay puro lamang naririnig lamang nila ng mga hearsays. O sa madalit sabi, mga chismis lamang. Tas nagbigay siya ng example, yung father nga na nawawala daw di umano. Ngayon, malaman-laman nila, nagtanan lang pala, no? Kasama daw yung isang madre. Okay mga utol, ganong kahusay si Ferdinand Marcos. Ayan yung sagot niya, direktang sagot niya yan, mga utol. Tuloy na natin.
How do you like that? And we got blamed for it. We got blamed for it. That's it. That's how the Amnesty International has been.
Ayan, Amnesty International, yung nagpaparatang sa kanya ng mga torture, illegal detentions, at yung mga pagkulong daw sa mga wala namang kasalanan. So yun, ito yung sagot niya, ha?
Reporting all this thing.
This questioner says, I have been in Manila and talked with both Filipino and U.S. businessmen. They say the Philippines are the most corrupt nation in the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, and that your wife's nickname is Miss 10%. Will you comment?
They must mistake us for another nation. He must have been living in the bar. Because I can tell you, there is this man, Justice Pamaran, whom I just introduced to you. He is the ombudsman. You who know what an ombudsman is, knows exactly what he can do. He doesn't wait for evidence, any rumor whatsoever, and he investigates it. You talk about my wife. Not that I would like to defend her. She can defend herself any time. She's quite capable. But perhaps that statement was said of another First Lady, not my wife. Certainly not my wife. Perhaps I can tell you that the property of the Marcoses has been brought into a blind trust. And not a 2020 blind trust either. It's a real blind trust. And we don't know exactly how that blind trust operates the property. The only property that we have control of are two or three houses. One in the province of my Ilocos Norte. No, two. Two in the province of Leyte and one in Manila, 5. Then the schooling for the children up to possibly a doctorate. Beyond that, all income goes into the Marcos Foundation, which is the foundation that embraces all property. Do you think that if there was any corruption by the Marcos family, that we can maintain the present prestige and leadership of the Marcoses in the Philippines? What do you think the Filipinos are? They are a very literate people. Literacy in the Philippines has increased up to 90% nationwide, and in Manila it is 100% literacy. And if there was any indication whatsoever of any of these corruption that you talk about, and whoever said that sounds like he has been in the wrong company. Probably the guys that he was working with may have been engaged in corruption. I'd like to know who they are.
Mga utol, yung sagot na, ay yung tanong na, yung paratang na ang Pilipinas daw ang pinaka-corrupt na country sa buong mundo. Okay? At pinaparatangan ang mga Marcoses o yung pamilya niya ng korupsyon. At ang tawag nga raw kay Madam Imelda ay Miss 10%. Ibig sabihin, kapag ikaw ay investor o kung ano pa man, ikaw ay kapitalista, so laging may 10% ang First Lady. So sinagot niya yan. Okay? Sabi niya, hindi ko ipagtatanggol kasi kaya naman ipagtanggol ng asawa ko ang kanyang sarili. Anyway, sinagot niya yan ng malinaw na malinaw. Okay? Tuloy na natin.
Then we'll go after them. But I can assure you.
Baka nasa ibang bansa kayo, hindi sa Pilipinas. Okay?
If any public official engages in corruption, he will land in jail. That is definite.
Okay, mga utol, puputulin na muna natin. Hanggang dyan lang muna. Panoorin nyo na lang ang buong video. Nandito yan sa Pinas Reality TV. Maraming salamat sa Pinas Reality TV. Sana'y nalinawan tayo. Mahaba yan, mga utol. Panoorin nyo lang yung full video. Ilalagay ko yung link ng video sa description. Okay mga utol, hanggang doon lang muna. Muli ako si Target Achilles in behalf of the Real South Pride Production. Sana'y may natutunan kayo, may nalinawan at may bago tayong nalaman. Mga utol, muli ako si Target Achilles in behalf of the Real South Pride Production. Ako'y nagpapasalamat sa inyong walang sawang pagsuporta. Kayo palagi mag-iingat. Keep safe mga utol. God bless at saludo po ako sa inyong lahat. Maraming salamat po.